My girlfriend became convinced I was going to die in 72 hours, and no matter what I said, she refused to believe otherwise. My girlfriend and I have been together for 7 years. We've built a great life together. We work at the same company as geologists. We share a lot of the same interests, and we've always had a strong relationship. The only thing that ever set us apart was her belief in astrology, tarot readings, and spiritual stuff like that. It wasn't a big deal. She never pushed it on me, and I never tried to change her mind. She liked reading horoscopes in the morning. Sometimes she'd do tarot readings for herself, and she always had a crystal or two lying around. It was just a harmless hobby. At least that's what I thought. Everything changed 3 months ago. I was at work, just another normal day, when she suddenly showed up at my desk, looking pale. Before I could ask what was wrong, she said, "Your life is going to be cut short." I actually laughed because I thought she was messing with me. "What, am I going to die?" I joked. She didn't laugh. She didn't even crack a smile. She just looked at me with this completely serious expression and said, "Yes." That was the moment I realized something was off. I brushed it off at the time. I figured maybe she had a bad dream or something and was just feeling weird about it. But after that, she started acting differently. She'd text me constantly, reminding me to take my insulin. I have type 1 diabetes. She'd check in on me way more than usual, always telling me to be careful. Double check my car before driving. Don't stand too close to the edge of the subway platform. Avoid certain people or places. It was like she had this paranoia that something terrible was about to happen to me. At first, I figured it was just a phase. But after weeks of this, it got worse. She wasn't just reminding me to be careful anymore. She was acting like I was a walking target. Every time I left the house, she'd hug me a little too tightly, like she thought it might be the last time she saw me. If I coughed, she'd ask if I was feeling okay. If I tripped over something, she'd freak out. If I got home a little later than usual, she'd be waiting at the door, checking me over like I'd barely survived a war zone. It was getting exhausting. And then, last night, she took things to another level. She sat me down, grabbed my hands, and with tears in her eyes said, "It's happening in 3 days. You won't be here after that." I felt a chill run down my spine. She wasn't just worried about me anymore. She was giving me an expiration date. I asked her what she meant, and she told me that she had seen it in her crystal ball. She was completely convinced that in exactly 72 hours, I was going to die. I tried to tell her she was being ridiculous. I told her this stuff wasn't real, that she was just psyching herself out, but she wasn't hearing it. She started listing off all the times she had been right before, like when she told me to take my insulin right before I forgot, or when she warned me about a problem with my car before something actually went wrong, or when she told me to stay away from a coworker who ended up getting sick. She was completely serious. I didn't know what to do. She was so worked up that I felt like nothing I said was getting through to her. Then she hit me with, "Just stay home for the next 3 days. Please, if you're still alive after that, I'll never bring this up again." I stared at her. She was asking me to take 3 days off work because she believed I was going to die. I told her no. That's when she really broke down. She begged me to just stay home, just this once. If I'm wrong, then great. But if I'm right, she trailed off. I shook my head. "You're not right. Nothing's going to happen to me." She just sat there, staring at me like I'd already signed my own death certificate. This morning, she barely spoke to me. When I left for work, she hugged me so tightly it actually made me nervous. Then she whispered, "I love you." I don't know why, but the way she said it freaked me out. It sounded like a goodbye. At work, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Not because I believed her, but because I didn't understand why she was so certain. I needed advice, so I posted about it on Reddit to you guys. Update 3 days later. I'm still here. I meant to update sooner, but my original post got locked and work got crazy. But yeah, no sudden accidents, no weird illnesses, no tragic events. I'm perfectly fine. I didn't stay home like she wanted. I went to work, and even though she clearly wasn't happy about it, she didn't try to stop me. But she showed up at my office more often than usual, checking on me. She was so on edge that it actually started making me feel paranoid. Every time I heard a loud noise or felt the slightest pain, a tiny part of me wondered, what if? But when the deadline passed and I was still here, the entire mood shifted. We had made a deal. If I was still alive, she would stop sending me horoscopes, stop including me in her tarot readings, stop pushing all this stuff onto me. And to her credit, she's sticking to it. She told me she was relieved that she had been wrong, but I could tell she was still shaken up. A part of her really, truly believed that I wasn't going to make it. A lot of people suggested that she might have anxiety or some kind of obsessive thought pattern, and honestly, I'm starting to wonder the same thing. I don't think she's crazy and she's not on drugs or anything like that, but this went beyond just a harmless hobby. I don't know if this is going to be the end of it or if something like this will happen again. I just know that for now, I'm done being a part of it.